History's most important slackers are getting the band back together in 2020, but before we see what the future still has in store for Bill and Ted, let's take a trip back in time to see where it all began. Here's everything you need to know about Bill and Ted's story so far in 6 minutes. Bill S. Preston Esquire and Ted Theodore Logan are a pair of high school chuckleheads from San Dimas, California. Together, they are Wyld Stallyns, despite the fact they don't really even know how to play. At school, their history teacher laments that all they've learned this year is that Napoleon was a short, dead dude. He tells them they need an A+ on their presentation tomorrow to avoid flunking out of school entirely, so their report had better be something very special.
We're in danger of flunking most heinously tomorrow, Ted.
At home, Ted is confronted by his father, a cop who has lost his keys. Ted's warned that he will have to go to Oates Military Academy in Alaska if he fails history. Bill and Ted work on their report at Bill's house, but they're distracted by Bill's stepmother, Missy, and his horny dad, so they head out.
Your stepmom is cute, though. Shut up, Ted. Remember when I asked her to the prom? Shut up, Ted!
However, while Bill and Ted struggle to cobble together facts, strange things are afoot at the Circle K. You see, 700 years in the future, the world is a wonderful utopia where society lives in harmony thanks to the teachings of Wyld Stallyns. However, Wyld Stallyns won't happen if Bill and Ted are separated, so a time traveler called Rufus has been sent to help them with their history report. Their future selves also arrive, confirming that Bill and Ted are about to have the most excellent adventure through history.
If you guys are really us, what number are we thinking of? 69, dudes!
Rufus hands over the time machine after a demonstration which inadvertently drags Napoleon back to 1988 San Dimas. Inspired by Napoleon's arrival, Bill and Ted concoct a plan to collect more historical celebrities for their report. First grabbing Billy the Kid from the Old West and Socrates from ancient Greece.
Dust. Win. Dude.
They then head to medieval England looking for more personages of historical significance, but run into trouble trying to help two princesses flee their arranged marriages.
Put them in the Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden? Excellent!
After escaping, they round up more candidates, completely filling the booth. Following an accidental stop-off at the Circle K the night before, Bill and Ted return to the present.
Hi, Mom.
Their historical figures are arrested by Ted's dad after an extreme commotion at the mall.
I demand einen lawyer.
Don't get smart with me, buddy. Let's go.
But Bill and Ted bust them out by resolving that, in the future, they'll return to the past to steal Ted's dad's keys and hide them somewhere they can find them in the present.
Hey, it was me who stole my dad's keys.
With the help of their new pals, Bill and Ted crush their presentation, ensuring they can remain together.
Party on, dudes!
After they restore their famous friends to their places in history, Rufus returns with the princesses after getting them out of England just before they had to marry those royal ugly dudes, as they're also destined to be part of Wyld Stallyns.
They do get better.
Years later, Bill and Ted have reached the second crucial turning point in their destiny. 700 years in the future, the evil Denomos
What a shithead.
wants to sabotage this moment and prevent the rise of Wyld Stallyns by sending a pair of Bill and Ted replicants back in time to totally kill Bill and Ted and stop them from winning the Battle of the Bands.
Do shut up.
Rufus grapples to the booth before it leaves, but is seemingly lost in transit. Back in the present, Wyld Stallyns has expanded to feature the medieval princesses Joanna and Elizabeth, but Bill and Ted are still hopeless musicians.
You keep telling me you're going to be the greatest band in the world, but you stink.
Despite this, the Battle of the Bands promoter, Miss Wardrow, gives them the last slot. Bill and Ted throw a birthday party for Joanna and Elizabeth, where we learn Missy has a new husband.
I can't believe Missy divorced your dad and married mine. Shut up, Ted.
After the party, Bill and Ted propose to the princesses, but shortly later, they're tricked by evil robot Bill and Ted, led out to the desert, and killed.
Catch you later, Bill and Ted!
Dead Bill and Ted are confronted by the Grim Reaper. The Reaper claims they can return to Earth if they beat him in a contest, but warns them that no one has ever won. Bill and Ted escape by giving him a Melvin, but end up in hell after crashing a seance hosted by Missy. Bill and Ted decide to face the Reaper and beat him in a series of games.
You have sunk my better ship.
Excellent!
Now at Bill and Ted's command, Death takes them to God, who directs them to an alien named Station, the most brilliant scientist in the whole universe. Returning to their bodies, they all head to the gig, while Station builds good robot Bill and Ted's to defeat the evil robot Bill and Ted's. Good robot Bill and Ted are victorious and the princesses are saved. Denomalos arrives from the future to finish the job himself, hijacking global TV signals to broadcast the death of Bill and Ted.
My word.
But the pair use time travel to outsmart him. After death, Melvin's Denomalos and Miss Wardrobe is revealed to have been Rufus in disguise. Bill and Ted use time travel to squeeze in 16 months of intensive guitar training, returning within seconds with beards and babies, Little Ted and Little Bill. Along with Station, Death, and the princesses, Bill and Ted stun the Battle of the Bands with an epic power ballad that's beamed worldwide. The world is united thanks to the might of rock and roll.
Let's rock!
Or so we thought. As it seems in the upcoming Bill and Ted Face the Music, their destinies haven't quite been fulfilled yet. How will Wyld Stallyns finally triumph? We'll find out soon. To catch up on more movies with long gestating sequels, check out our summaries of the Bad Boys series and the Rambo saga. Station!